Okay. All right. Welcome to the first ever meeting of Daphne, Shereen, Janice. Um, so we're starting a vlog called It's Time. So where was this vlog birthed out of, Shereen?
I guess it was birthed probably a week ago when um, when I had a dream.
Yeah.
And at the very end of the dream, it felt like there was just such a strong message, right? Where Janice was actually one of the persons in the dream. And she said to people in the car, she said, okay, we got to tell the world, it's time, we got to tell the world, right? And
Yeah.
then my mom also happened to be in that car, and she stepped out of the car. Just before stepping out of the car, she had said, no, you're right. It is time. It's, we do have to tell the world. And so my mom gets out of the car and is about to make this big announcement. But by the time she's about to say something, the dream ended, right? So it kind of ended on a cliffhanger, and I ended up sharing this dream with you guys, right, and our church, and at the very end of that, the three of us were on a phone call, right, and Daphne, you, I think, were making an offhand comment, and it was just I think you were just joking because Janice said she had to go, right? And then you were saying, yeah, okay, go, go, like, spread the gospel, or like go do your thing, right? But then you used to use the word "it's time" specifically, or you use that phrase. And then Janice kept saying, wait a minute, what did you just say? Right? And then I think both Daphne and I were like, what is she talking about? And then Janice is like, what did you just say? And you tried to, jog her memory, but she's like, no, like before that, or, and then I think Janice remembered that you had said it's time. And so Janice pulls out her journal, right?
Yeah. Sorry, guys, my eyes. Yeah, Janice. You
So
pulled out
then
your journal?
basically, I was like, because that was something God was saying to me exactly on May 15th. Like, I have my journal here. So it's like May 15th, and I wrote, it's time. And like throughout here and here, it was just like, it's time, it's time. Like, that's all God was saying to me, like that morning. And
Yeah.
I could
Remember.
hear it so clearly, like in my heart, in my spirit, like, it's
Yeah.
time, it's time, it's time. And I'm like, it's time for what? Like, I'm tired. Like, what? Like, like, is it time to move to the Philippines? Like, what is it time?
Yeah.
Time for
To
what?
the Philippines.
And then when I was showing this,
Yeah.
Shereen was like, that's exactly the day that she had the dream, was May 15th, was that it's time. So
So
then
crazy.
now it's time.
It's
For us
time.
to say that. Yes,
So
it's
we're like,
time.
this
This
is
is
what it
the
is.
time, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's
And
time
so
to talk about Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
time.
And yeah. And then I showed them, I was like, guys, oh my gosh, you forgot about my part. Get it?
Okay. So, like, you want me to share it? So basically, me and Shereen, we have like a journal and we write like this, okay? And so Shereen also writes like that.
What is that?
Daphne is a mother of two, living in the Philippines,
Thousand.
working overnight. Like, she doesn't have time, much time to like journal like this. So basically, she wanted to like fit in, and she's like, "Wait, guys, wait, let me get my journal." And I start laughing because I know she doesn't have a journal to like keep track,
Okay.
right? I'm like,
I
what is
have
she gonna
5
pull
journals.
out? I'm like, is she
I
gonna
have 5
pull out?
journals. I just don't write in them.
And then she doesn't have time. So I was like,
Yeah.
what is she gonna go get? And I knew she was gonna like write something. So in her piece of paper, she wrote,
I actually
May
have it here, guys. I have it here.
Sure.
You see
So
it?
she wrote May
May
15,
15,
911.
911. Emergency. So
She's like, I'm so busy, I don't have time
it's
to write
time.
2020.
Okay. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't have something to write in my journal, but in my heart, when you guys were speaking it in my spirit, I was connecting with it and really like even though Shereen, didn't say I was in the car, I was like, I was on the driver's side, envisioning myself.
Like, why wasn't I in the dream?
Like, I just put myself in there and I'm like, it's time. Motherhood and all, I'm gonna make time. And that's why like this vlog is so important to me, like spending time with you, Janice, you, Shereen. Like it's time for me to like actually comb my hair, wash my face, make time, because I know that a lot of people are going through tough stuff right now during COVID-19. I'm sorry if I keep rubbing my eyes, guys. I'm so sorry. The light is like hurting my eyes. Okay, but
it's like right on your face.
Like my husband set up the camera, and it's like, whoa. Okay, I'm thankful for him though. But it's like, there's so many people struggling right now. Like I was talking to Janice, anxiety attacks, like mental breakdowns, and like even in the Philippines. I was born in Bahrain, grew up in Canada, but a couple years ago I moved to the Philippines. And just today, like on the news, there was one of the celebrities that was just saying like she had like a mental breakdown, and she would trade all of her material stuff, her mansion, everything, for peace of mind, just to have happiness, like joy, peace of mind. So that's our first question today, girls, the deepest question of humanity in this time. During COVID-19, how do you girls maintain your peace of mind?
That's so good,
yeah.
You want to go first, Shereen?
Go ahead.
How about you? What about you, Daphne? How do you keep a peace of mind?
How do I? Girl, okay, like if I'm being real, like I have I can't even remember how old he is. 11-year-old kid and a 3-year-old toddler. How do I keep my peace of mind besides like the practical side of trying to stay organized, trying to keep time, like having like specific times, like a schedule? I think I would fall apart without Jesus, for sure. And like even at work, it gets stressful because, as you know, Janice, I'm working for like in the medical field right now, and a lot of people are like, they're in pain, right? Either from cancer or from other stuff. And when they call in, they're in so much pain, and it can get stressful because people, they're suffering, right? So what I do is I turn on worship music, literally. Dr. Hong, forgive me, I don't know if that's allowed, but like if he hears it. But like I put on worship music while I wait for the call, while I'm typing, every moment that I can get that I could think about Jesus instead of the problem, I will do it. Before I start work, I do something where I read the word. I write down like 5 minutes of what the word means. I also do started hanging out with my sister, and I like doing it before work because through Zoom, and we just list down 10 things we're thankful for. So I think like if we fix our minds at this time on the problem, which is like on the news 24/7, this person died, this baby died, someone else died. Like even in our friends and family, like we have friends and family whose mom and dad died. If we focus on that, I think definitely you'd fall apart. Like a normal human can't carry it on their own. So for me, how do I stay sane while parenting, while working, being a wife, like a daughter, and it's staying connected to Jesus. I never lose my main, which is Jesus Christ in my life. And that's another thing. Sorry, there's something. Okay, so anyway, so yeah, like aside from that, like there's a lot of temptations. Like I heard that Netflix binging went up, and for my family too, that's like a temptation, just to go and watch a movie, and it's a challenge. But I think at this time, COVID-19, it's actually a blessing in the sense of like we can go to Jesus. Because even though there is this disease going around, we've been reading Psalm 91, and it says there that if we keep our eyes on God, right, the diseases, it says straight up there, that it won't even come close to us. And that's something like I've never lived before. I've never understood before, really. So I've been meditating on it with Shereen, with my sister, Diane, and just learning to keep our eyes on Jesus, even though there's this COVID-19. Yeah.
No, and I think that that's really the heart of it, right? Keeping our eyes fixated on Jesus in this season. And I think that that's really been the thing that has kept me going. And I find that whenever I take my eyes off, right, even if it's like sometimes I find that it happens suddenly, right? Just out of nowhere, right? Or it kind of just springs up on me unexpectedly. That's the word I was thinking of. Where I do take my eyes off, or maybe even just a split second, right? And then you'll feel that feeling of fear or anxiety or worry or, whatever, just feelings that you're not supposed to, that we were never, ever supposed to experience, right? Suddenly we experience. And so I really see those as red flags, right? That tell me, okay, no, I need to get my eyes right, like back on the right track, right? And make sure it is kept on Jesus. And almost instantly you feel that peace again, right? Like when we really go to God's shelter, right? When we go to his dwelling place and we take time, we spend time there, right? It just creates this atmosphere of peace. And, it's something that that I've really learned in this season that we're supposed to seek more so than ever, right? Just more and more daily, right? That's like his presence is what we need to be seeking, right? And it needs to come to a point where it happens so naturally, right? Where it's not even a second thought, right? That we do wake up in the morning and instantly he's the first person that we're thinking of, or he's the first person that we're like communicating with, right? I just think that, making him our everything, right? Just really, it kind of solves everything, right? Even though I might not have the answers to like situations, challenges, or anything that comes up, I think just knowing that he is everything and he has everything taken care of, right? That's something that I can really rest in, right? And be at peace with. And so I think it's the only way that I can find peace in this season.
So for me, the way I find a peace of mind during COVID-19 is definitely soaking into like his word. Even in the times like before this pandemic hit, there were so many times where it's like I just want like peace and quiet, but it's so busy, especially living in the city. Like there's people walking around, everyone's busy, hustle bustle. Like I have to wake up like at like 6 a.m. before the world wakes up to find that peace of mind, But now during this pandemic, it's like the world has completely stopped, all the stores are closed, shopping is done, work has stopped, businesses has stopped, cars have stopped. So it's just like all we have is time right now. Do you know what I mean? So it just gives me that much more time to soak into his word and journal, right? Like this is something I tell every single person that I meet is like to carry a journal with them. It's different than, yes, praying is one thing, but journaling, it really clears out all your thoughts and your whatever God is speaking, whatever he's trying to show, like putting it down on paper, it just brings so much clarity. It brings everything mumble jumbled inside our mind, inside our heart, inside our spirit onto paper to show like what is God truly speaking, And so the Bible verse during this time really like that I have been focused on is Psalms as well. Like it's funny that Daphne said Psalms, but for mine is Psalms 46, 10 to 11. Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. The Lord Almighty is with us. The God of Jacob is our fortress, Selah. So it's like, this is the time for us to be still and know that he is God, you know? When everything has stopped, we're all in the same place right now. There's no higher, there's no lower. It's like you can either let fear take over, anxiety, worry, and stress take over, or we can learn to like be still, seek him that much more, pray, read his word, journal. And he is the one who gives us peace, comfort, and he will be exalted among the nations. Like right here, right now, we're representing how many nations, right? Just the three of us. But even with you at home, like, he wants to reach out, you know, he wants to bring peace, but we have to seek him first. So that's what I've been doing, is just seeking him and digging deep, you know? And then these things happen, like dreams and visions and words and uniting. And yeah, so let our faith be bigger than our fears, because like we've been talking about this for how many years? Like me and Daphne have been talking about recording for like years and years and years. We have one from like maybe like 10 years ago or something like that, you know? But it's like life gets busy, like things get in the way, but it's like tomorrow's too late. So we're here.
That's so true. Thanks, Janice. And definitely, I love your tip about journaling. It really did change my life before when I was going through stuff. And when I was 19, when I first gave my heart to Jesus, I was actually 17 because I turned 18. Oh, no, I was 18. Sorry, mom. I was 18 after my debut. And I was going through a lot of stuff, like in my teens. And just journaling, asking God like what he believes, really changed my life. And definitely want to bring that back into my life again. I love it. I just need to make that time, you know?
But yours is, what's it called? Your journals are so cool because like you use like feathers and buttons and like collage with like
oh yeah,
the next level, you know? It's so cool.
No, that's another thing, guys. Like journaling can look different for everyone. Like I have a friend, how she journals is she records it, but songs like this morning God gave me a song, like I love you, like that. And then there's other people who like write. And it's like deep, like Shereen. She has conversations and like long dreams. Like Janice too. She just like, and mine is when Janice and Shereen looked at my journal, it was like, should I show them?
You have it?
I have it.
Yeah, sure.
Journal. Okay, while I go and get my journal, you guys talk about more about that.
Okay. I think we have about like 5 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So after she shows this, like we'll pray and like, yeah, it's pretty cool. Like when you think about it, it's like, oh, there we go.
It's a clock. There's a clock on it.
On my journal.
It's
my
time.
Journal? Oh, yeah.
What? I am so scared.
This is my first journal ever with the Lord.
Oh my God.
Experience revival, and there's a clock. Oh,
and it's almost pointing at 9. One arrow or one hand is pointing at 9, and the other one is almost pointing at 11.
Almost. Okay, so like they saw my journal. This is how I journal, guys.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Bring it closer. Do you have the one with like the feathers? Oh my gosh.
That's amazing.
Like, no, I would love to come back to that. And like, I just love like, I don't know, there's like a sticky because like from my teacher. I love collages. So like, it's how you like how you and God talk. This is the feather one you're talking about, Janice. My heart.
And like, you know, and then so I remember you made like little people and stuff like that. Like,
you know, whatever I can find. And there's like rap in here, like weird, like here. Okay, I don't even know if you guys can just see whatever. It's like petals. But yeah, like journaling is real. It's life-changing. Not just like journaling anything, but literally when you journal, just like going to like, God, what are you going to speak to me today? Like, what can we, this is how I feel about you, God. We're in a lake. Here's like draw a lake, or it could be writing or something, whatever. But yeah, that's super encouraging, Janice. Like I want to do that. And so I had a question. So while you were speaking, I was just getting like a lot of people in this time of COVID-19, you said everything was taken away, everything, their jobs, education, and one of the major things was identity. And so can you guys speak into that? So like for people who have said, like you, Janice, and I've had people who just said like, I haven't drank for years, but I started drinking. I haven't done drugs. And then they just started doing drugs again. Like they turned to these things in this time. Like what can you say to those people?
You want to go first, Shereen, or what?
Go ahead.
Okay. So during this time, it really shows like what your priorities are and like what and who defines you, right? Because now that everything has been stripped away, it's like the things that used to form and frame your identity, like your status or like your money or like your house or your cars and your bags and shoes, your time, like what actually took up your time: shopping, going out to eat, going out to drink, partying, work, exercise, all these things. Gyms are closed, malls are closed, your job is done, there's no place to go to show off anything. It's like it really shows in the end, like at this time, like what is your true identity? Like what does your identity lie in, and why people are going into drugs and going into alcohol and going into pornography and going into like trying to fill their times with things that they usually maybe really wouldn't, into a huge extent, right? Is because all they have is time now, right? All they have is emptiness now. All they have is boredom now, because they used to just continuously fill themselves with physical things, right? And for us, it's like, we know that those kinds of things, it's just temporary happiness, temporary joy, temporary fulfillment. People want to constantly they want to fill their need with something or someone or some kind of joy or some kind of hope or some kind of purpose, right? But it's not forever. Like that is not what's going to bring life. That is not what brings your identity. That is not what gives your purpose. That is not what gives like true love, right? Everyone is trying to find love, hope, purpose.
So what does give our eternal purpose and joy?
Definitely. It's only God. It's only
Jesus.
God,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And He is literally the way, the truth, and the life. And that's it. Without Him, there is no joy, no hope, no love, no life. You can try. You can try everything. You've already tried travel. You've already tried shopping. You've already tried whatever it is that you've already tried.
Yeah.
And now it's gone.
And you might think, oh, Janice, people might say, you don't know what I've been through, Janice. You lived in a perfect house. But trust me, we've all been through it. I tried shopping, it left me broke. I tried guys, like just finding joy in guys or whatever. But if you're in the wrong relationship, it'll just leave you more empty than you came in. You know what I mean?
And no matter how much money you have, like it doesn't bring the true joy, life that God does.
Yeah. Otherwise, there won't be rich people committing suicide. You know, there's rich or poor, they're still looking for something. And I want to give you guys hope today because our 20 minutes is up, right, Cher?
Yeah.
Way up. Next week we'll continue more on this topic of identity, and we were actually going to talk about how to stay in love with Jesus through all of this. But God brought this.
We'll do it in the next.
We'll do the next one. But it was so cool because he just led this one right through. So this one is totally about identity, and God is just shaking identities right now. So if right now you feel shaken, you feel lost, you feel confused, you feel depressed, I just want to give you hope that it's not over. It's not over yet. Turn your eyes to Jesus, give your heart to God, and pray with us right now. And I guarantee, like, God is not a liar. He will not let you down. If we fix our eyes on God, He is not like the devil or your ex-boyfriend who'll leave you high and dry or whatever. And like, you know, He is a good God. He loves you. He died for you on the cross. There is hope. Even though COVID-19 is here, God is our healer. He is our provider, and He wants to do miracle signs and wonders in our life. But first we got to fix our hearts, fix our eyes on Him. Is that right, girls?
Mm-hmm.
Amen. So as we end, I guess we're going to say a prayer. Cher, can you lead us out in prayer? And then just pray with us, pray with Shereen, and just fix your eyes on God.
Yes, God, thank you so much, God, for your presence, God, and just being amidst all of us, God. And we just thank you for, you know, every single person that's listening right now, God. You know, it is no mistake that they came upon this video, God, and that they're listening to this right now, God. And God, I know that you're just telling them, you know, that you see them, God, you know, like you've been with them throughout their life, God. And God, I know that you're just saying that you love them, God, and that you're just waiting with open arms, God, and you're just ready to just give them a big hug, God. You know, and God, you know, you look at them without any blemishes, God, but you're just so delighted, God, in who they are, God, and the fact that they are your creation, your son and your daughter, God. And so, God, we just lift up these people, God, and God, we ask, God, that you would continue to reveal yourself to them, God. And in addition to that, God, we ask, God, that you would show them, right, their identity and what their identity in you means, God. And so, God, we just ask that you would continue to bless our days, God, wherever we are, God, and, you know, continue to put this desire in us to seek you, God, and really come to know you, God. Would we be more curious, God, to know who you are and all of you, God, and would we just want to know the full depth of your love. So we pray this in your mighty name, Jesus.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, guys. So yes, thank you guys for, you want to say something at the end, Janice?
No, thank you, guys.
Thank you. And so before we go, guys, we just want to thank you again. And remember, you are a child of God. That is your identity. Amen.
And Jesus loves you.
Jesus loves you. Bye.
Bye.
See you next week.